I wanted to start a new series today, and I'm gonna call it something like Create With Me, because I want to do like a series where I'm just sitting here embroidering or drawing or sewing or something, and I just want to talk to the camera during it. I guess it will be more natural this way. Maybe I'll do some Q&As, just things like that. I thought it'd be a lot of fun. It won't be too difficult for me to edit, so I'll probably get these videos up in addition to my other videos. So right now I'm going to be embroidering a cherry on the sleeve of this sweatshirt. And just for reference, this video is probably out of focus because I have to focus the camera myself and run back and forth. I won't really be looking at the camera. I'll probably be looking down the whole time, focusing on my embroidery while I talk. I guess this way it's just going to be a little more natural. It will come out of my mouth a little more freely, be a little less scripted. So I wanted to talk about something that I haven't been very open about on YouTube. People do ask about it a lot. I just kind of give generic responses, I guess. Very vague, don't go into detail, just that sort of thing. And I guess I do that to protect myself because I don't like talking about personal things on the internet. I just feel very vulnerable when I do that, and it's completely different if you're my friend in real life. To my friends in real life, I'm very open about it because I think that's important to do. If we're close friends, I want to be able to be honest with you and things like that. Not necessarily friends that I have like a superficial relationship with, but more like close friends and things like that. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, I've had a lot of close friends just kind of up and leave me because of my health. And as hurtful as that is, it's gonna be kind of normal in your life. If you're not doing well, there's going to be people who like just want to be in for the easy ride and don't want to stick around for when it gets tough because you trusted them and you trusted that they were going to be there for you, and then they're not there for you. You know, it's just part of life, and I think it's really important to also not like victimize yourself, if that makes sense. But today I'm going to be talking about my scars on my arm. I have some on my legs too. You can't really like see those. Some people pointed them out when I did my tattoo, but they're not nearly as visible as my arm. Mostly because your arm is closer to your eyes so you can see it better. And also, they're just not as dark as the ones on my arm. There's a lot of reasons I choose not to cover my scars, and I don't know if I'll be able to get into them in this video. But the bottom line is, they're a part of me. It's like a freckle on my face, you know? They're just part of my body, and I don't want to have to hide my body for people. I don't want to have to censor myself, if that makes sense, or hide anything when it's just a part of me. I'm stuck with these for the rest of my life. I have tried to get rid of them. I've been to doctors to try to see if there's any options for me. And from what I understand, they can flatten them, but they can't completely take them away, and it would cost a lot of money. So I'm just sticking with them for now. I have tried a lot of creams and oils, but at the moment I'm just kind of letting them be and hoping they fade naturally. I'm not a fan of the way they look, and I know a lot of people are like, be proud of them because it means you made it through, but that's not really how I see it, I guess. For me, they're not something to be proud of. They're kind of gross in my opinion, but this is just my view on my own. I think anyone who has them can view them whatever way they want to. And if it's empowering for you to be proud of them, then like that's awesome, and you should do whatever it takes to feel good about yourself, as long as you're not hurting other people, obviously. For me, it's not something that I enjoy having on my body, obviously. I hate the notion that going through something makes you stronger. Because, I don't know, it didn't make me any stronger, it didn't make me any kinder, it didn't change my life for the better in any ways, and it just made it a lot worse. And I think, honestly, saying something like, it's okay that you went through this because it made you more empathetic, is kind of discounting the fact that I am empathetic in the first place. And it's, I don't want to say it's romanticizing it a bit, but it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't really seem appropriate to me. I get people asking about my arm all the time. I wear short sleeves at work. I work in a retail setting, so it's pretty relaxed. When I start my actual career that I'm studying for, which is art therapy, I'm definitely going to wear long sleeves. So yeah, just to get that out of the way. And I do have a lot of people asking about them, especially when I'm on the cashier and I'm making small talk and I'm asking about their day and stuff. A lot of people just ask. And when it's a stranger, I I never ever flat out say what it was or say it's probably what you think it was. I always make a joke out of it. I'll say, oh, it was a shark attack. That's my go-to. I've actually low-key had like 2 or 3 people believe me when I say that, which is like kind of startling on my behalf. But anyways, I will always make a joke about it like that because I don't want people, like strangers, to really know about my personal life, which is kind of weird. I think it's different when I make a video about it on YouTube and I share it because it's under my terms. And when it's a stranger asking me, I'm caught off guard and I'm not in the mood to talk about it to someone while I bring them up for their clothes at Forever 21. I just like would rather talk about it on my terms when I feel like talking about it, because I do think it's important to share, but the bottom line is I'm not obligated to. I'm not obligated to share my story with anyone, and to be completely honest, I'm never going to share my full story on the internet just because that's something that I don't want to do. And I've had a lot of people ask me to share, you know, my health story and things like that, but that's definitely not something I want to do at the moment, and I have never wanted to do, and I don't think I ever will want to do, and I'm not obligated to, you know? It's like I wasn't obligated to come out, and I did anyways, but this isn't something like that, you know? This isn't a part of my identity, and I'm worried that if I were to make a story about my mental health on YouTube, I know it'd probably be one of my bigger videos, just because so many people have been asking me to do it, and I feel like that would become part of my YouTube identity, and I don't want to be known for that. And I've talked about this before. I want my channel to be known for, you know, my art videos and my talking videos and things like that. I don't want to be known for my mental health story with a dramatic thumbnail. And like, I'm not saying people who make those types of videos, that's like a bad thing, because like when I was struggling, I watched them and a lot of them really helped, just to know that I wasn't alone and things like that. It was never really triggering to me. It was always just very like, I don't know, I had a feeling of solidarity with the people who did share, and like that's admirable, I think, to be able to share, but I'm not obligated to, so I'm not going to, just because I don't think it's relevant to who I am. It's not a part of my personality. It's just, it's there, but I don't want it to be synonymous with me. Does that make sense? And when I first went to college, I wore long sleeves for a month. I go to Loyola Marymount, it's in Los Angeles, and if you're familiar with Southern California, you know it gets real hot in the September, August months. It doesn't really get hot in like June, May, June. It gets really hot in like August, September, even October a little bit, during the day especially. And I wore long sleeves for that entire month of September. Because I was worried about what people would think of me. I didn't want it to affect any of my friendships, because you know, when you're first meeting people at college, you don't want there to be any kind of like preconceived notion of you. For that month I was so hot all the time. I was constantly sweating and people were constantly asking me, why are you wearing a sweater? And I didn't want to answer that. And just for future reference, if you see someone wearing a sweater when it's like really hot, like, don't point it out. Don't ask them why they're wearing. If they say they're hot, like offer them water. Don't make a comment about what they're wearing. I'd be known for me and not for what's on my arm. But at the same time, I choose to show my arm. So I guess that could be kind of seen as like, you know, my own fault for doing that, and what else do I expect? I guess a lot of people are probably thinking. And you know, sometimes I think the same thing myself. When someone at work is like, oh my god, what happened to your arm? I guess I am thinking in my head at the same time, gosh, what do I expect? You know, I wear short sleeves. People are gonna ask. I think the most important thing to remember though is they're not entitled to an answer. And that is mostly what gets me through anything. It's just they're not entitled to an answer, and a lot of times I feel guilty not answering. And when people ask me on YouTube to do my mental health story, I feel guilty for not doing it, because I do feel like it could help people and raise more awareness and things like that. But it's my own personal choice. This is a part of my life that I don't really like to share the details about on the internet. And like I'm gonna keep saying, I don't have to do that. This video is to kind of hopefully clear some things up about myself, I guess, because like if I had to tell one stranger about, if I had to tell a group of strangers about, you know, my personal health story, I guess it would be you guys on YouTube, because I feel very comfortable with my viewers. You guys are also nice. I haven't really gotten a lot of mean comments. I think the most critical comments I've gotten have been about the fact that I said I didn't like the Beatles on one of my old record collection videos. Still don't like the Beatles, I'm sorry. And they weren't even mean. I think one guy was like, well, good job on making those Beatle albums. And I was like, you know what? You got me there. I don't create music. I could not do any better. But the bottom line is I haven't gotten very many mean comments. I've gotten a lot of nosy comments, but not mean ones. And that's why I feel so comfortable making a video like this with you guys, is just because I've gotten so much support through YouTube, and it does mean so much to me. So I guess a big thank you to you guys. I guess a lot of you guys might be wondering how I am now, and I'm doing great. I made a video a couple months ago about my experience with TMS. If you haven't watched that, I'll link it in the description, but I have been doing really well. I have been for a long time. This hasn't been something I've struggled with for over 4 years. They're very old scars. So I don't think I've ever said that. I mentioned it in comments, but I've never really said the length of time it's been. It's been over 4 years. If you're struggling yourself, it is possible to get better, and I think I'm living proof of that. I struggle with it so much, and now it's been 4 years and I haven't dealt with it since. So it is possible, and you've got this. And I'd like to clarify really fast, if you've ever left a comment asking about my scars or pointing them out, like, no hate at all to you guys. I completely understand it came from a place of worry and concern rather than a place of just wanting to know what happened, which I think is most of the time when I get that. I am completely fine, and you guys don't need to worry about me. I have been fine for a very long time. I don't like the way my scars look, and I'd rather not have them, but I have them anyways, and that's just the tea. I'm stuck with them for the rest of my life. I have tried to get rid of them, but I'm living with them, and it is what it is. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you probably didn't enjoy this video, but I hope you learned something and gained something from watching it, because that's just my goal. If you want to check out a short film that I made about this, check out the art collective I'm in. It's called Grapefruit. I'll put a link to their YouTube channel and the video that I made in the description. But it's mostly like visual arts and music and podcasts and things like that. So I have created a few physical art pieces for them, some photography, things like that. So I'm excited, and I hope you guys all love Grapefruit as much as I do. Okay, love you guys. You can follow me on any social media if you feel like it. If you feel like it, subscribe. If you don't, that's totally fine. You know, give this video a like or a dislike. I don't really mind if you didn't like it. That's okay. You can be honest. Okay, love you guys. Bye.